future of, like, let's say, small businesses going forward with just such business apps?
Yeah, I mean, I think small businesses, once they become a bit more organized and a little bit more self-aware, that, like, I mean, already small businesses are kind of like the lifeblood of the Kenyan economy, but I think it'll be an even stronger, like, essence. And I think in general, we will see like a healthier workforce. Yeah.
Okay, and then another one, and I think this was like just from the write-up that I don't want to miss. Why, why, why are you so focused on small businesses? Because I'm just trying to think about it as why would you be so focused about the small businesses when there's a big piece of the cake in bigger establishments?
Because I don't care about bigger establishments. I mean, eventually, sure, like we're a company. Like if we get there, we get there. But to me, there's like way more interesting problems to solve with small businesses. And this is just a community that I know and like deeply appreciate, and like that are fully missing their whole potential due to like them not being able to like operate their business in like an efficient way. Because when you have just a notebook, honestly, you are limiting yourself to your growth and your income potential. Like I promise you. And so, and again, like going back to financial like abundance and security, it's like for most people here, it's going to come through having a healthy small business.
Yeah.
And so I want every single one of our users to eventually be able to not only afford, but feel comfortable to take a 2-week vacation. Like once I start hearing that feedback, I'll be like, okay, we've done a good job.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, because I think too, when also just like with my experience here, there's just so much. There's a whole nother side of life that people aren't able to experience due to financial constraints. And I just think that that's like a shame and like a problem. And we want people to also have like a deep, immense joy in life. And that is tied in some ways to money. Yeah. And so to say that it's not, I don't think is being realistic, because like, especially when I was living in the village, it's like, if you can't afford to go to the hospital, that causes a lot of internal suffering and pain.
Yeah.
And so let's first help people get all of those financial needs sorted. And then we can get to the next level, which is like, okay, now we can do all of this. Now we can start to give ourselves other experiences. Like maybe instead of taking a matatu every day, I'm going to take an Uber or a Bolt. So I don't have to worry about my phone getting stolen or like getting harassed on a fucking matatu,
True.
Or like I do want to go to the coast and I don't want to feel guilty about that.
Yeah.
That's okay, or I want to be able to give my family money and also be able to do things that I want to do. Great. All of that's going to come through a healthy business for most people.
Sure.
So that's why I focus on small businesses, because it's like this is the market that has the most help, needs the most help, is the most interesting to me, and that I know pretty well. And I just want to see people financially thriving.
Absolutely.
And I've grappled with this a lot, because I obviously have my own privilege that I come into this conversation with. Like I'm white, I'm from California. I'm not only from California, I'm from the Bay. I am middle class. Like even depending on who you put me next to, upper middle class, like in the middle class conversation that's based in the US. And a lot of experiences have come because of that. And so I don't think that those and money is just involved in everything, right?
True.
Like unless you are a monk and you decide wholeheartedly, I don't want material things.
Yeah.
Sure. But most people don't
You'll
want
have
that.
to deal with it. You'll have to deal with it at some point.
And it's just like, so it's like we want people to transition also from a mindset of like scarcity into a mindset of abundance, and like really believe that this is like their human right, and just like their actual true essence is to be in one of like abundance and security.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's yes,
I get it.
And I've had these like conversations, I've come face to face a lot with my own belief system because I've had these conversations like with women in Kibera.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I am very real. I try to be very real and honest about everything because I think that's like the only way to like help people like first identify where they are and also just like bring a grounded approach to the conversation. But like, I did this exercise with this group of women in Kibera who are like all young mothers, single, not easy life.
Yeah.
And I asked them like, why do you guys want money? Because we don't want money. We want the things that money can buy.
True.
It's like if I just gave you 30 million shilling, you wouldn't just put that money in the bank. You would like buy land, you would build a house, you would buy a car, you'd go on vacation, like whatever. And that's all of that is good. And so then we drilled down like, what do those things represent? So like one woman was like, oh, I would want my mom and me to move to a nicer place that's like safer. So like money represents security.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, can you do that right now? And she was like, no. And then I said, what can you do right now to make you feel more secure in your current situation that you can also afford? And then she's like, buy a better like deadlock, or you know what I'm talking about? And I was like, that's your goal right there. Because it's step by step by small.
Get to that and then scale it up a bit, scale it up again to things that you can actually manage. And I think that's why when you hear even like the Powerball winners or people who may win like jackpots, most of the time, just because you don't know how to handle money and you have no direction with it, you might still end up being in the same situation.
Most do go broke in like a year.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. That's very true.
And so, these are like the things that we want to talk about and have like a plan to talk about on our socials. It's like you need to also feel comfortable with money.
Yeah.
Because most people actually don't.
In what way?
Like you'll hear some contradictory beliefs around money, right? So you'll hear like, oh, I want money. And then when you ask someone, okay, what do you think of rich people? They say...
they're all evil.
And then, do you want to be evil?
Oh.
No. But now you're associating...
So why do you want money? Yeah.
So we have a lot of contradictory beliefs.
Yeah.
And so we have to sort those out because money's not evil. Money is paper. Paper can't be evil. It's just a fact. And if somebody turns a certain way because they get money, that has nothing to do with the money. That has to do with the integrity of the person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, because I also say this. I'm like, there's bad people who have money. There's bad people who don't. There's good people who have money. There's good people who don't.
Very true. Very true. Very
so...
true.
We
Yeah.
have to also start to come to terms with our own relationship with money and the dynamics at play. It gets very complicated. And it's like a very heavy conversation, to be honest.
Yeah. And you realize even just with business, it's not just about buying, selling. There are so many other factors that go on even with the individual probably at home, and they have to balance it out just so that they can make the right business decisions which are not emotionally based on something else that's happening externally.
Yeah, but everything is based on your emotions. Like I'm gonna be releasing a video about how do you get comfortable spending money. Because as a business owner...
Do you want to mention a bit on that or no? Just something small exclusively for the podcast as we wind up, because I'm seeing we're almost at our mark.
Yeah, so I just think as business owners, we can't only be comfortable with receiving money. We have to be comfortable with spending. Because you can't, like, in order to make money, you have to spend money. And as you move through the levels of growth through your business, your expenses are going to get bigger.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable with spending money, and you can't hoard money. And this is like, it's like people just want to have like huge revenues and profits and like no expenses. And that just is not mathematically possible.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Yes. It's like you will always have to spend money. So we want to feel comfortable and grateful and intentional with spending money and how we spend money and what do we spend money on and how do we take small financial risks in our business, and all of these things go into business and management and growth.
Nice.